Give me about a half an hour and I'll be back. I gotta find a parking place. Oh man, this place is packed. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Two Wheel Troubadour channel. Hope everybody's having a good day. I am taking a ride to get my hair cut. So it's July 5th. Hope everybody had a wonderful and safe 4th of July here in America. And if you're not in America, I hope you had a fantastic 4th of July anyway. What am I going to talk about today? It's a beautiful day here in Florida. I'm taking the back roads out to my hair cuttery place. That's a nice house. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about riding technique, tips for new riders. You know, it's very common. If you're watching this channel, you're probably a lot like me in that we like to watch YouTube videos and channels about motorcycle riding. I can't get enough. I'm just constantly on YouTube. I subscribe to, you know, just dozens and dozens of motor vloggers and, you know, experts in riding, and just if it's got motorcycles in it, I'm watching it. And it's very common, I think we all know and have seen the videos of you know, tips for new riders, top 5 things new riders should do, and all this kind of stuff. And I just kind of wanted to, you know, I'm not here with a list of things, but I just kind of wanted to talk through some stuff from my own personal experience. And I think a lot of those videos are aimed too much at the new rider. Not all riders are equal, and just because you've been riding for 10 years or 15 years doesn't mean that you're as good as Joe over here, or Mary, who rides every day to work, does track days, you know, once or twice a month. You know, and here's Cruiser Bob over here, who takes his cruiser out once a month for an hour. The skills are going to be different, right? I mean, it's just obvious. Plus, let's face it, some people are just better at hand-eye coordination than others. It's just a natural fact. That's why we have, you know, sports that elevate the elite to the professional category, right? I mean, I think I'm pretty good on a motorcycle. That doesn't mean I could hop on a MotoGP bike and go compete with Marquez and Rossi. It's just, I would be delusional to think that, right? They have a lifetime built of honing their craft, refining their skills, elevating themselves up the chains to the top professional levels. So, you know, the people that ride a lot, do a lot of track days on sport bikes. I mean, I'm sorry, I hope that this doesn't offend anybody that's on a cruiser, but their skill set is going to be more refined than Bob over here, who takes his Harley out once a month, right? I mean, it's just a fact. And like I said, you have natural abilities that maybe Bob on the Harley just has natural abilities than Joe over here, or Betty, who does track days, you know, twice a month and rides their bike to work. So I guess what I'm getting at is it's just not a one-to-one, you know, oh, I've been riding for this, you know, oh man, my bike just stalled. That's weird. Why did it do that? Oh, you gotta love a chime. I'll have to do a top 5 things I hate about my Triumph. Oh well, we're underway. At least I didn't have to stop and fix anything, right? So where was I? Well, you know, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio on, hey, I've been riding for 5 years, therefore I am better than a guy who's riding for 1 year. So I think those videos are a little bit too focused on just new riders. I've been riding for a long time, and I can tell you, I'm constantly learning new tips and tricks and honing my skills. I'll watch videos and you know, they'll be talking about trail braking and all kinds of stuff like that, and I'll go out and go for a ride, and I'll put it into an application. You know, I'll go out and apply it and see if it works for me. And if it's working a little bit, maybe I'll keep doing it, keep trying it. So, yeah, I mean, you should always be open to learning. And let's face it, I think one of the attractions of motorcycles is these are technical machines. They're very nuanced, okay? Not everybody can ride a motorcycle. And some people who do maybe shouldn't. I'm joking, but there's a lot to it. So, some tips and tricks from my experiences. One thing that I like to apply in my riding is, hey, let the bike do its thing. Let the bike do its thing. The suspension is designed and engineered, and it's been refined over decades and decades to soak up these bumps, to keep you safe, to keep you going down the road. For those new riders, don't worry so much about what your bike's doing. I see so many people get on their bike and 90% of their attention is all focused on what the bike is doing. And I think that's natural. I think it's really natural to do that. You're controlling a machine that's very complicated and has the potential to really mess up your day. So I think it's natural to focus in on the machine. But I'm here to tell you, relax. Try to let the machine do its thing. You know, I remember my dad once told me about airplanes. You know, airplanes are designed to fly. They're not designed not to fly. They're designed to fly. So let that machine, let that airplane do its thing, what it was designed to do. Then you can relax a little bit more while you're going for that flight or going for that ride on your motorcycle. That way you can focus more on the things around you, the things that may potentially cause you to have a really bad day. One great piece of advice that I came across early on in my riding was, think of motorcycle riding a lot like flying an airplane, being a pilot in an airplane. And one thing that pilots do, and they're trained to do, and a lot of you may not realize this, they are trained to constantly scan the horizon, scan their surroundings. They're looking left, they're looking forward, they're looking right, they're scanning their gauges, they're doing a constant scan of everything. And you can get into the habit of doing that. Watch who's behind you. Watch who's beside you. Watch who's in front of you. Also, while you're doing that, start to profile these cars around you, and even motorcycles, any vehicle. And when I mean profile, I mean watch their behavior. If you notice somebody behind you, if you're scanning, you glance in your mirror, you notice somebody behind you that's changing lanes a lot, Maybe they're even changing lanes without turn signals. They're really driving aggressively. Make a mental note of that. Watch that person as they're coming up to you. And let me tell you, this is huge advice. Get yourself out of situations. You can get yourself into situations very quickly, but you can get yourself out just as quickly. I see so many new riders, and you know, us experienced riders can tell the new riders. Trust me, when I see somebody, another motorcyclist, you know, when they're new, man, it sticks out like a sore thumb. You can just tell their head's down, they're sticking in one spot on the lane. They just don't have the wherewithal of their surroundings. They're not scanning, they're not looking. You can just tell they're new riders. Come on, Tennessee. So watch. That guy's on his phone, of course. That's a good point, you know. Watch the people, look at them. You read this in your motorcycle handbooks. Make eye contact with cars that are coming into your road. Watch their eyes. If it looks like they're looking past you, they probably are. Cover your brake, cover your clutch. Make sure that you're prepared for whatever action that they might have. So another comment on that. A lot of people, I hear so many people say, you got to drive defensively when you're on a motorcycle. You know, you got to be careful. You got to drive defensively, folks. You know, be careful out there. If you're completely focused on driving defensively, I think you're focusing too much in the wrong area. It needs to be a blend. It needs to be a balance of, I hate to use the word aggressive, but let's just say responsible aggressiveness. And that kind of ties into the whole, you know, getting yourself out of trouble. If you're feeling vulnerable, let your instincts guide you. If you're feeling vulnerable, if your spidey senses are tingling, get yourself out of that situation. And more times often than not, you can do it with your throttle, okay? Get yourself out of those situations. All right, I'm at my hair cutter, so I'm gonna jump in here, get my hair cut, and then go for a little ride. So I will see you guys in a bit, and give me about a half an hour and I'll be back. I gotta find a parking place. Oh man, this place is packed. Where am I gonna park? Are you serious? There's no parking places? What the heck? What the heck? Alright, let's see. Let's go. Let's try this one. Here we go. Alright, see you guys in a few.